On a bright, sunny day, so bright the sunbeams danced like little golden sprites on the water, little Sammy and his friends were out on an adventure. They were sailing on a small, sturdy boat, bobbing gently across the wide, endless blue ocean. Laughter filled the air, mingling with the cries of the seagulls overhead. The sky was a perfect, cloudless blue, and the sea mirrored it perfectly. Sammy, with his mop of curly hair and eyes full of wonder, steered the boat with all the seriousness of a seasoned captain. His friends, Mia and Leo, were trailing their hands in the cool, sparkling water. Suddenly, without any warning, the wind changed. It wasn't a gentle breeze anymore. It was a mighty, roaring gust that whistled and howled. The little boat rocked violently from side to side, and the waves, once gentle, grew into towering walls of water. "Hold on tight!" Sammy shouted, his voice nearly lost in the wind's roar. But the wind was too strong. With one final, powerful push, it flipped their small boat right over. Splash! One by one, Sammy, Mia, and Leo found themselves tumbling into the ocean. Down, down, down they sank, bubbles rushing past their faces into the mysterious, magical deep sea. For a moment, panic set in. It was dark and strange, and the surface seemed so far away. But as their eyes adjusted, they realized they hadn't fallen into a scary place at all. It was a world of pure wonder. The water around them wasn't dark. It was filled with a soft, ethereal light. Colorful fish, painted with stripes and spots of every imaginable hue, darted around them like living jewels. There were forests of glowing corals that pulsed with gentle blues, pinks, and greens. And the jellyfish! Oh, the jellyfish were the most magical of all. They drifted through the water like tiny, living lanterns, lighting up the deep with their soft, beautiful glow. It was like floating through a starry night sky, but underwater. The children forgot to be scared. They were mesmerized. As they drifted in awe, a huge shadow fell over them. A giant octopus emerged from the gloom, its 8 long, rubbery arms uncoiling like massive snakes. It was enormous, bigger than their boat. The octopus moved with a silent, graceful power, and before they knew it, its long arms were wrapping gently but firmly around them. Mia and Leo gasped, their eyes wide with fear. They struggled, but the octopus's grip was strong. This was it, they thought, a real sea monster. The magic was gone, replaced by cold, creeping dread. But Sammy, even though his heart was pounding like a drum, remembered something his grandpa, an old fisherman with a kind, crinkly smile, had once told him. "The sea is full of friends, Sammy," he'd said, his voice raspy like the sound of waves on sand. "If you treat them with kindness and respect, they will always help you." Clinging to that thought, Sammy stopped struggling. He took a deep breath, looked right into one of the octopus's large, intelligent eyes, and spoke, his voice clear and brave, though the words bubbled strangely in the water. "We don't want to hurt you," Sammy said calmly. "We are just lost. We are looking for a way back to the surface." He tried to smile, a wobbly, underwater smile. The giant octopus seemed to understand. Its grip loosened slightly. It tilted its massive head, its big, curious eyes studying Sammy. Then, slowly, it raised one of its long arms, unwrapping it from the children, and pointed. It pointed toward a dark, gaping opening in a huge wall of rock, a cave. The children looked at each other. A dark cave? That seemed even scarier. But the octopus nudged them gently with its arm, as if to say, "Go on. It's okay." Trusting their new, eight-armed friend, they swam nervously towards the entrance. The children swam into the cave, their hearts thumping. It was much darker inside, away from the glow of the corals and jellyfish. They held hands, swimming carefully forward. As their eyes adjusted to the dim light filtering from the entrance, they saw something that made them all gasp. There, in the center of the vast underwater cavern, was a huge blue whale. It was the biggest, most magnificent creature they had ever seen, larger than a bus, larger than a house. Its skin was the color of the midnight sea, and its eye, as big as a dinner plate, watched them with a deep, ancient sadness. But the magnificent whale wasn't just resting. It was trapped. Huge, jagged rocks had pinned its massive tail, holding it prisoner in the cave. It let out a low, mournful sound, a song of sorrow that vibrated through the water and into their very bones. "We have to help him," Sammy whispered, his voice filled with determination. Mia and Leo looked at the giant whale, then at the massive rocks. "But Sammy," Mia said, "we're so small, and he's so big. How can we possibly move those rocks?" "We have to try," Sammy insisted. "Maybe if we help him, he'll help us too." So they set to work. They swam to the smaller rocks around the whale's tail and pushed with all their might. They pushed and pushed, their small muscles straining, but the rocks barely budged. They were getting tired, and it felt hopeless. Just as they were about to give up, Sammy had a clever idea. His face lit up. "The jellyfish!" he exclaimed. "Let's use a glowing jellyfish to light the way." He remembered seeing a whole swarm of them just outside the cave. Working as a team, they swam out of the cave and gently guided the swarm of lantern-like jellyfish inside. The cave was instantly filled with a bright, beautiful light, illuminating every crack and crevice around the trapped whale. Now they could see exactly how the whale was stuck. Sammy realized they didn't have to move the biggest rocks. If they could just dislodge one key rock, it might cause a chain reaction and free the whale's tail. With the area brightly lit, they could see which rock to focus on. With renewed hope, the children pushed together on that one specific rock. They pushed and heaved, and with one final, coordinated effort, it moved. It slid sideways, and then, with a low rumble, the other rocks shifted and tumbled away, releasing the great blue whale. He was free! The blue whale flexed its enormous tail, moving it freely for the first time in what must have been a very long time. He turned his great head towards the children, and a voice, deep and gentle like the ocean itself, rumbled through the water. "You saved my life," the whale said, his voice full of gratitude. "Your courage and kindness are as vast as the sea. Now, I will take you back to the surface." The whale lowered his massive back, creating a safe, wide platform for them. The children climbed on, holding on tight to the smooth, broad expanse of his skin. With a powerful flick of his tail, the whale swam out of the cave and began his swift ascent towards the light. The journey back was even more magical than the descent. The whale carried them swiftly through the shining waters. They passed through shimmering schools of sparkling sardines that moved as one, like a silver cloud. They saw wise old sea turtles, gliding gracefully with ancient wisdom in their eyes. They flew over gardens of glowing starfish that carpeted the seafloor like a galaxy of fallen stars. Their friend the octopus even swam alongside them for a part of the way, waving a friendly arm. It was a parade of deep-sea wonders, a final, beautiful tour of the world they had discovered. At last, they saw the sunlight filtering down, getting brighter and brighter. With a final, gentle surge, the whale breached the surface, sending a shower of sparkling spray into the air. And there it was, their little boat, right side up and waiting for them as if nothing had happened. The sun was warm on their faces, and the air was fresh. They slid off the whale's back and scrambled into their boat, safe and sound. Sammy turned and waved to the great whale and the octopus, who was peeking just above the surface. "Thank you, my friends," he called out, his voice full of emotion. "You taught me that courage and kindness can save everyone." His friends, Mia and Leo, laughed and cheered, hugging him tightly. "Sammy, the hero of the deep sea," they chanted. And so, their grand adventure came to an end. As they sailed back towards the shore, their hearts remained full of the magical, unforgettable memories of the incredible world hidden beneath the waves. Thank you so much for joining us on Sammy's Deep Sea Adventure. We hope you loved it as much as we did. If you enjoyed the story, please give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories and adventures. We'll see you next time. Bye.